Hi there, it's day 6 of week 7 of 52 weeks of vlogging, and it recently came to my attention that an Australian billionaire named Clive Palmer is building an exact replica of the Titanic. He's calling it Titanic II. And my initial reaction to that was like, oh my god, that's such a stupid idea. The Titanic had major problems that led to its demise. Like, it didn't have enough lifeboats, and it had an inadequate supply of binoculars. And because the shipyard it was built in was under pressure and stressed by trying to build 3 luxury ships at once, it was made out of cheaply made, badly sourced materials like rivets, which, you know, fell apart in the middle of the frozen Atlantic Ocean. But it turns out Mr. Palmer is fixing a lot of those problems, like the not enough lifeboats problem. Totally fixed. He's going to make sure there is an adequate supply of lifeboats on board. And as far as the binoculars go, he's going to use an advanced satellite navigation system, so binoculars won't be quite such an issue. And as far as the cheaply made second-rate materials thing goes, not to worry. The Titanic II is being made in China. It's not like they have a reputation for using unskilled labor or second-rate materials or anything like that. Okay, so the Titanic II is not quite an exact replica. And even though the China thing is a little worrisome, that's not actually the main problem that I have with the building of the Titanic II. It's the reason for the building of the Titanic II. Mr. Palmer said that he wants to rebuild the Titanic because he loves the old-fashioned attitudes of the Edwardian age. And his attempt to replicate that extends beyond the grand staircase and the Turkish bath and right into the passengers' quarters, which will be divided into 3 classes: first class, second class, and steerage. And just like in the original Titanic, they won't be able to intermingle during the voyage. Passengers will have the option to wear Edwardian clothes, which as a theater person I think is kind of cool. And then Palmer himself said that he plans to travel in the steerage class, where he will, I quote, "look forward to banging the drums, playing the fiddle, and getting dizzy as he twirls around like Leonardo did in the movie." This is the problem with the Titanic II. It's being built without any appreciation for the genuine hardship undergone by the majority of the original Titanic's passengers. And despite what Palmer may say, it doesn't sound like he has any genuine respect for the people who perished in the original disastrous sinking of the Titanic in 1912. If you want to honor the Titanic, yes, build a replica, and then open it as a museum. Charge people a reasonable amount to come for the day. Let them put on period clothes. Let them go down to steerage and sit there for a couple hours and imagine what it would be like to sit in those cramped quarters all day and all night throughout the entire voyage of several days. And then let them go up to the grand ballroom and walk up that grand staircase and walk into the Turkish bath and maybe even try it out and see for themselves what the difference was in the way those first-class passengers were treated compared to the way the third-class passengers were treated. Let them sit in a lifeboat and see how many people would really fit in one, and then show them how many lifeboats there were on the ship and let them do the math. Let them imagine what it would have been like to be a first-class passenger scrambling on the deck to get into a lifeboat, or what it would have been like to be a third-class passenger literally locked below decks as their cramped quarters slowly filled with water, knowing that this was the end. But charging thousands upon thousands of dollars for people to travel across the Atlantic on the Titanic II, playing the fiddle and twirling in steerage? Please, Mr. Palmer. This isn't a tribute. This is a mockery. That pretty much sums up my feelings on the Titanic II. Make it a museum and I'm all in. But making it into a really expensive cruise ship and an opportunity for wealthy people to play pretend at reliving an era that was full of class prejudice? I don't think so. That's it for today. I'm gonna sign off and go watch this, which begins with the sinking of the Titanic. Thanks for watching. I'll see you tomorrow.